I stood there, staring at the empty chairs around the dining table in my mother's New Jersey home, my voice trembling with confusion. "Mom, I don't get it," I said. The words spilling out as I gestured toward the spots where my kids should have been sitting for her big birthday bash. "You told me this was an adults-only party." My mother had been crystal clear, no kids allowed, so I'd left my two little ones, Sophia and Ethan, at home with a sitter. But then the door swung open and in strolled my brother David, with his wife and their three impeccably dressed kids, arms loaded with glossy, ribbon-wrapped gifts. My mother's face ignited with joy. She darted over, arms wide, as David's kids squealed, "Nana," and threw themselves into her embrace. The room filled with their laughter, but my chest tightened. Sophia, 8, and Ethan, 6, were stuck at home, probably sulking on the couch. Because I'd followed Mom's rules. I'd spent the morning drying their tears, promising we'd do something fun later to make up for missing Nana's party. And now, here was David's crew, welcomed like royalty. "Oh, Laura," my mother said, catching the storm brewing in my eyes. She waved a hand dismissively. "David's kids are different. They're special. You understand, don't you?" But I didn't. Not even close. My kids were just as special, Sophia with her quiet brilliance, Ethan with his unstoppable energy. They were her grandkids too. I swallowed hard, forcing my voice to stay calm. "They're not different, Mom. They're all your grandchildren." David smirked, tugging at his sleek silk tie. "Come on, sis, don't make a scene. You know your kids can be a lot. This way, everyone can actually enjoy the night." "A lot?" Because Sophia sometimes got shy in big crowds? Because Ethan couldn't sit still for 2 seconds? Those quirks were what made them magic, my magic. I glanced at the table, my untouched appetizers staring back at me, then at the walls lined with family photos. David's perfect little trio beamed from every frame, while Sophia and Ethan were relegated to the blurry edges of group shots. Always on the outside. "Where are you going?" Mom called as I grabbed my purse, her attention already drifting to David's youngest, who was waving a crayon masterpiece in her face. "We haven't even eaten yet." I didn't answer. My mind was racing, a plan snapping into place. My kids deserved more than this half-hearted love, and I was done waiting for it. "I'm spending tonight with my children," I said, my voice cutting through the chatter, steady and sure. "Where we're actually wanted." I walked out, the cool New Jersey night wrapping around me as I pulled out my phone. Scrolling through my contacts, I landed on a name I hadn't dialed in years. Marco Russo, an old high school buddy who'd turned into one of Jersey's hottest chefs. His restaurant, Verde, was the kind of place people fought to get into, and my kids had been obsessed ever since they caught his cooking videos online. As I sped home through the quiet streets, I thought about all the times Mom had brushed Sophia and Ethan aside, skipping them for brunches, scheduling family events during their toddler nap times, always bending over backwards for David's brood. I'd shielded my kids from it, made excuses. But maybe it was time they learned a harder truth: when people don't see your worth, you build your own happiness. "Hey Marco, it's Laura Bennett from Ridgewood High," I said when he picked up after 2 rings. "Laura. Holy crap, it's been forever. What's up?" His voice was warm, like a hug through the phone, and I spilled the whole messy story: Mom's party, the rejection, my kids' heartbreak. He didn't interrupt, just listened and then chuckled. "Bring em over. Now. I've got an idea." I burst through the door to find Sophia and Ethan slumped on the couch with their babysitter, Rachel, a half-hearted board game spread out in front of them. Sophia's dark hair was still in the fancy braid she'd spent an hour perfecting, hoping Nana might change her mind. Ethan's eyes lit up the second he saw me. "Mom, you're back early. Did Nana miss us?" His question sliced through me, but I plastered on a grin. "How about an adventure instead?" I held up my phone, Marco's latest video glowing on the screen. "Want to meet this chef and cook something amazing in his kitchen?" Their jaws dropped. "For real?" they gasped, voices overlapping. "For real," I said, winking. Sometimes the best nights aren't the ones you're invited to. They're the ones you make yourself. Verde's golden light spilled onto the Montclair sidewalk as we pulled up, the buzz of the packed dining room humming through the windows. Sophia clutched her recipe notebook, her eyes wide, while Ethan bounced beside her like a puppy off the leash. "We're cooking in a real restaurant?" Sophia asked, her earlier gloom vanishing. "That's the plan, kiddo," I said, smoothing her braid. "And you're already dressed for the occasion." Marco met us at the door, his chef's white spotless despite the chaos of the dinner rush. "The Bennett crew! Get in here," he boomed, dropping to one knee to meet the kids' eyes. "Heard you're into cooking. What's your specialty?" Ethan puffed out his chest. "I make killer scrambled eggs." Sophia shyly offered her notebook. "I grow herbs on our windowsill." Marco flipped through her pages, whistling. "This is pro-level stuff. I started the same way, basil in my mom's kitchen. You're naturals." He ushered us to a prime table overlooking the open kitchen, where flames danced and the air smelled of garlic and thyme. My kids' faces glowed as they watched the chefs move like a symphony. "First we eat," Marco declared. "Then how about we whip up my famous tiramisu? I could use some expert help." Sophia's eyes popped. "Us? Really?" "Absolutely," he said, shooting me a knowing look. "Every chef's got to start somewhere, and my kitchen's open to all kinds of talent." Unlike Mom, who wielded special like a weapon, Marco made it a badge of honor. Dinner was a parade of kid-friendly wonders. No dumbed-down nuggets here. Marco spun tales about each dish, coaxing the kids to guess the ingredients. Ethan nailed the sage in the ravioli, while Sophia floored everyone by picking out the rosemary in the chicken. "You've got a killer palate," Marco told her, and she beamed. As we finished, he pulled out 2 tiny chef's aprons, Verde Junior chef stitched in gold, and tied them on, rolling up the sleeves. "Ready to make magic?" he asked, leading us into the kitchen. The place was a whirlwind of steel and steam, but the staff greeted Sophia and Ethan like VIPs. "Meet our guest chefs," Marco announced. "Sophia's our herb genius and Ethan's our energy maestro. Welcome to the crew." The team shouted back, "Yes, chef," and the kids stood taller. Marco set up a station, showing them how to handle tools safely. "We're making tiramisu," he said. "Ethan, count the ladyfingers, 24, right?" Ethan focused hard, nailing it. Sophia mixed the mascarpone, gentle like tending your herbs. She nodded, folding with care. I snapped pics as they worked, their faces alight with pride, and posted one online. My superstar chefs cooking up a storm at Verde. "Thanks, Marco, for an epic night." Likes flooded in instantly. My cousin Lisa, stuck at Mom's party, texted, "This looks amazing. It's a mess here, everyone's jealous." I grinned. Good. The tiramisu came together like a dream, and Marco let the kids decorate, Sophia dusting cocoa, Ethan piping cream. The staff oohed and awed. "These are menu-worthy," Marco said. "How about Sophia and Ethan's junior tiramisu? Proceeds can fund our new kids program." The kids gaped. "Our names? On the menu." "You earned it," he said. My phone buzzed. Family at Mom's whining about the pics stealing the spotlight. I ignored them, savoring the moment as the staff tasted the dessert, praising Ethan's curls and Sophia's layers. Later, Marco pulled me aside. "I'm starting a foundation, cooking classes for all kids, no matter their style. Want in? You and the kids get inclusion." I nodded, floored. Verde's social media manager, Carla, rushed over. "The pics are blowing up. Parents are begging for this program. Kids who don't fit the mold finally have a spot." Even Mom's friends chimed in online. Some grandmas miss out on real talent. The next morning, Sophia and Ethan served their tiramisu to Rachel, who raved, "This is unreal. My college friends say Verde's changing the game." Mom's voicemails piled up unread. Instead, I helped Sophia plan an herb workshop while Ethan practiced piping. "Mom," Sophia said, "I don't miss Nana's party anymore. This is ours." Ethan grinned, whipped cream on his nose. "Yeah, and Marco says my energy's perfect for teaching." A month later, Verde's junior chef program launched, Sophia and Ethan leading the charge. The local paper ran a feature, "My Kids Shining, Teaching Others." I mailed Mom a copy with a note. "We found our place." David's wife asked about spots for her kids. "Check the website," I said. "No favoritism here." Sundays became our ritual. Sophia's herb kit sold out. Ethan's demo videos went viral. And Marco's network grew. Exclusion? It just pointed us to where we truly belonged.